Welcome back to another Pokemon What If Wednesday, where every single Wednesday morning I go through last week's investing and collecting questions, where your guys' questions will actually be featured in the video, and one person's question actually helps me make the thumbnail every single week. So please drop your questions down below for a chance to be featured in next week's video. And if I did comment to you saying great question, I might use this, and I didn't, please drop that same exact question again, but make sure you put repeat question and it'll get moved to the top. I can only do so many per video. And I'm not saying I'm some guru who just knows everything. This is just my personal opinion, and when I'm unsure, I always like to talk it out with a few people. It always helps me make my final decision. We do got to give thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Punch-Out Gaming. Punch-Out Gaming is my local game store that I go to, and it's the #1 game store in all of Minnesota. I've actually been in the mall. And two, if you do plan on coming to Punch-Out, hit me up on Instagram, and I will definitely meet you there. I'm there all the time. And you can order right from their site, too. They got stuff for everybody. Pokemon, sports cards, Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, tons of video games and video game consoles. And they have one of the best selections of raw Pokemon cards that I have seen. So definitely check them out. The links are in the description, and they're only located 30 minutes north of the Twin Cities. But all right, let's get to it. First question is at Jose Majaro 6768. Is it bad to invest in regular ETBs? If you get them for about 30 to 35, really new to collecting and investing, and I don't know if I'm making a mistake. Adding one more part to this, would it be better to buy one booster box or two Pokemon Center ETBs? So if all you can afford is ETBs, the regular ones, especially if you are getting them for $30, that's an okay price. You know, you're getting a good amount of packs, especially for the Scarlet and Violet era, you're getting that promo. But I really would not pay much over $30. Now, for the other question, super good question, and honestly tough. So if you actually look at it, so we have a few sets right here, Obsidian Flames. So the Pokemon Center ETB is right around $100 right now. We have sales over $100. And the Obsidian Flames booster box is at $115. So if you would have bought two Obsidian Flames Pokemon Center ETBs versus one Obsidian Flames booster box, because these were, you know, $100 the whole time, you would definitely be profiting so much more from the Pokemon Center ETBs. And then the same example could go with the Miraidon Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center ETB too. That one's, you know, a little over $90, and the booster box is $92. So if you would have bought the Scarlet and Violet booster box at 90 or 100, you would have technically lost a little money or be even. And if you would have bought the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center ETB, the Miraidon version, I mean, you're already up $30. And same with the Paldea Evolved Pokemon Center ETB. I know technically the booster box is doing very well, sitting around 135, 140, but that ETB is right around $100. Now, normally booster boxes are king, and I think they still will be king. But I really think a few of these Pokemon Center ETBs, depending on the promo and set, are really going to give the booster box a run for its money. Because especially, you know, like a set like Obsidian Flames, not the most popular set, right? You know, the booster box is pretty cheap, but the promo for the ETB is insane. So it's tough to say, but I really think a few of these Pokemon Center ETBs are going to go absolutely crazy. I'm investing heavily into them, but I'm still investing heavily into booster boxes too, because you just can't beat the packs. I mean, 36 packs is just so many compared to the 11 you get for Pokemon Center ETB. And then even if you buy two, you know, we're only at 22 packs, but 4 promos, 2 stamps. So that's what sweetens it up. Such a tough question though. Next is from @master217270. Do you think it's worth investing in the Shiny Mew Coro? I think it's super underrated and one of, if not my favorite cards, on top of some legendary dog arts from Team Rocket. I love that card. Yes, I think it's an awesome card, and I think it's pretty undervalued for like what it actually is. The sparkle on this card is insane. You guys have to see this card in person. So we're checking the sold listings on eBay. PSA 8 sold for $400. CGC 5 sold for $90. A raw here sold for $150. Or another raw at $110 or best offer. $150. Heavily played $90 with a swirl. $150. We got a PSA 1 for $140. We got an excellent one here for $150 and a near mint for $200. So it looks like it's going to be around $150 to $200 to get one in actually near mint condition. Another one here for $171. But honestly, for what this card is, it's insane. I really wish we had this card in English too, but all right, next question is from @Z2010AG. Piggybacking off the 3-pack blister questions, sets like Crown Zenith have no booster boxes. What seal is best to invest here? So When you're talking sets that don't have booster boxes, if they have a Pokemon Center ETB, that is now the king of sealed for, you know, those sets, obviously. And then the regular ETB, and then the booster bundle. And then sets like Crown Zenith, like I really enjoy the tins. You know, you're getting pure Crown Zenith packs. Everybody knows what's in there. You're getting exclusive arts, stuff like that. And then if you're going to get anything else, you're probably going to want to get like the biggest collection box that has the most packs for the best price. So like right now, the Sea and Sky Premium Collection, you can get that for $40 at Sam's Club. And that comes with the most packs out of any Crown Zenith product. So, you know, those are great boxes to break down in the future if you ever want to sell packs individually. But again, they are huge. They do get damaged easily. So keeping them sealed for a very long time and keeping them in perfect condition isn't the easiest, I will say. But yeah, I like the ETBs and the booster bundles, make it super simple. And then if they have a good tin with promos that I actually like, I grab those too. And you can be argued the mini tin displays are decent too for these sets. You know, people do like to collect them all. And then they're going to be pretty affordable for people to buy individually. So I do have a feeling those will do okay also. No joke, the Pokemon Center ETBs and the booster bundles are my two favorite for sets like this. All right, next is from @Obo1334. Thoughts on buying the dip on the gold Crown Zenith cards? Way too nice for the price. Got the Palkia and Dialga for $70. So yeah, they're getting very, very cheap. We got the Giratina market price right below 100. Arceus 57. You got the Dialga at 43 and the Palkia at 42, but I know these both have some sales in the high 30s. Whenever I see these in person and they're in really, really good condition, I'm going to buy them, which I keep checking, and a lot of them are not perfect or even close to perfect, the ones that I keep seeing. They might even get a little bit cheaper even when all these new crazy sets come out. So that's why I'm being picky and only buying perfect ones instead of just every copy. All right, next question is from @OneLuckyViewer, another great video. If you had the art set for the first edition fossil packs and had 2 extra Lapras packs, would you hold on to them or use them for trade? Thank you. I'd probably trade them. Just think if you could trade them into another full art set. Now you have 2 art sets, maybe unlimited fossil. That way you have the unlimited fossil art set and the first edition fossil art set instead of just, you know, a complete first edition with 2 random Lapras packs. To me, that makes a little more sense. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. All right, next is from I'm going to butcher this, Alib Bahani 8391. Hey, love your content. Thank you. My question is, what is your opinion on graded PSA 8-9 level X cards from 2007 to 2009 era? I feel like they are underrated and undervalued given they are the ultra rare cards of that era. And with how low the population of most of the cards are, I also love collecting them since that was the era I grew up on. Do you think they are a good buy, long-term investment? Well, I am also collecting level X cards right now. Those are probably the cards that I have the least of, which is why I'm collecting them. I think they are beautiful cards. I have a good handful of them, but I want more. But all right, let's take a little peek on eBay. So we're checking sold listings. In a PSA 9, the level X Lucario sold for $195. In a PSA 9, the Dialga sold for $172. The Cresselia in a 9 sold for $91. We got the Arceus here in a PSA 9 sold for $200 at best offer. Another one, there's a few different versions of this Arceus card. They're pretty sweet. But this one only sold for $100. We got a Gallade down there for $91 in a 9. And we got the Alakazam for $157 in a 9. So I would probably try to stick with 9s if you can. Of course, if it's an 8 and it's a really, really good deal, scoop that up. But yeah, I think anytime you're buying like the secret rare versions of these older generations for the low, I think that's totally fine. But again, don't expect them to automatically go crazy. They could just be sitting like this for a long time. You know, you kind of got to wait for a big vintage boom or something like that. Or maybe they'll bring level X's back. You never know. They're bringing back a bunch of stuff. We got a Raichu here for $67. That's a good price. The Heatran for $60 your best offer. You know, we did kind of get the Garchomp, I guess, for celebrations. But we also got alternate arts right after that. So nobody cares about celebrations right now, which I get. All right, next is from @RyanIlif2038. My question is, I have an ungraded Charizard V alt art from Brilliant Star. Should I sell or hold it based on the current market? Well, it might go down a little more, but I'd probably hold on to it. I do have a feeling this card might boom one day. I mean, it already almost got up to $200. but I could definitely see this card being pretty expensive down the road. A ton of people hate on Charizard right now, but I do think that will fade. So yeah, I'd probably just hold on to it. Next is from @WorldsWorstGMR. Questions: what are your thoughts on getting sealed packs graded? What packs sets would you recommend, and would you go with PSA Beckett or something else? Thanks, I love your channel. Wish you all the best. Thank you. Then we also got a question from @BRADPT. I'm looking to get some unopened Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh packs graded for display. Is there any grading company that specializes in packs? Repeat question. Cheers, mate. So when you look on the secondary market, the most graded packs are definitely PSA. So I'd probably just stick with PSA. We're looking at some sold listings here. We got a first edition Typhlosion pack and a PSA 9 sold for $700. It's just so weird. Like, how do they really, grade a perfect pack? It's kind of weird to me how they do grade packs, but I think the slabs look sweet. I love how big they are. Like, I am obsessed with how big they are. We got a PSA 10 first edition Jungle for $600. And then too, everybody always grades their light packs, so you kind of have to worry about that, just thinking that there's a light pack in there, most likely. That kind of sucks. But like I said, I do love the slabs. I do wish they were a little more popular grading packs and stuff like that. And then too, for grading packs, I think Evolving Skies might be a decent one to grade. Yeah, there's definitely some plays here. I mean, there's money to be made. These are all vintage. Well, we got 151 right here. Sold for $166 with $26 in shipping. That's not bad. I mean, that's a good amount of value for I don't even know what 151 is, $7 pack or something like that. All right, next is from @ClaymanIFCC. Beard, I bought some packs after 25 years of not being into it. Pulled a shiny Altart Mew EX from Paldean Fates. Brought back some nostalgia for me opening up packs. I'm in the process of getting it PSA'd. Is now the time to sell, or should I hold on to it for some time in case the price goes up? Repeat question. If I were you, since it's your first, chase card pulled from like you haven't collected in 25 years, I'd probably hold on to it for like nostalgic reasons, especially if it gets that 10. But if you do want to sell it, like if you need money or whatever, PSA 9 sold for 110, the 10 sold for 225, 101, 271, 102, 275. The Mew just had a good little bump up, so it's doing pretty decent right now in the secondary market. So it's probably be an okay time to sell, but I could see a world where this could be like a $500 card. I'm not 100% sure or anything, but I don't know why. I could just see this thing being super, super expensive in the future. Not sure, but it is a cool card. And like I said, maybe keep it for nostalgic reasons. Next is from @John McCrary 6701. Do you think the Darkrai Umbreon GX promo is undervalued? In a PSA 10, they are starting to really climb. Yeah, they definitely have a few crazy sales, so we'll take a little peek here. One just sold for $440 in a 10, $375 in a 10, $375, $417 on the 5th, $271 on the 4th, $540 on the 1st, $470 on August 26th. So prices are kind of going up and down. Wow. I mean, in June, sold for $320. But I think this is an awesome card, especially the raw prices for these cards are definitely pretty affordable. They're like $20-$30 for a lot of these awesome textured tag team cards. I mean, the card is just sick, but they're pretty cheap because they're Black Star promos, and the 10s are pretty expensive because they're promos, and it's not super, super easy to get them in a 10. But I'm a big fan. If you can get any of these tag team promos in a 10 for cheap, I would probably snag them because they are cool cards. Next is from @Elion12. Hey Beard, do you think I should sell my Eevee Heroes booster box and gym box and reinvest it in Evolving Skies? It's about $1,400. Could buy a couple Evolving Skies and a Fusion Strike booster box. Thanks again and love the content always. So that's a tough question. The actual booster box here is last sold $350. Bunch of the Korean ones, so cheap for those. Even the Chinese ones are really cheap. Here's another one for $340. And then the actual gym box here was around $1,000 for the last sold. Super cool, unique box. But I do think the market for Japanese is much smaller than it is for English. Evolving Skies, I do have faith Evolving Skies is going to be a very expensive booster box one day. But I do have a feeling those will probably gain a little more value than these will now. These have already gone up a good amount. So I feel like that would probably be an okay trade, you know. Maybe also try to get a couple Scarlet and Violet booster boxes for dirt cheap, you know, in the 90s, stuff like that. Just, you know, get some stuff on the absolute low. So that way you have a lot of room to grow. It's a super, super tough question though. All right, next is from @Hippo Dykes Unite. Hey, Pokebeard, great content. I appreciate it. Thank you. What are your thoughts on investing in English waifu cards, full art trainers? Any waifus in particular you think would perform better than others? Well, waifus for English definitely don't do nearly as good as Japanese cards, obviously, because there's so many more waifu collectors in Japan than there are in English. But I mean, if you're looking at the English trainer cards, you can definitely see a trend on what is the most expensive. I mean, out of these top 12 cards, 8 of them would be considered waifu cards. So yeah, I'm also not the best person to ask when it comes to trainers because I don't collect trainers at all, especially the waifu thing. But I feel like it's starting to die down a good amount for the English cards for sure. You know, Japanese, they're still crazy. I mean, Paradise Dragon, the best card is the waifu card. But for English, it's probably not going to be the waifu card. You know, that happens almost every single time for these sets. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a crazy, crazy market. We could get another waifu trend down the road, but you never know. But all right, next question is from @DreamReaper Gaming. Great video. I have a question. What's better long-term, a sealed promo or graded? Thinking about opening a promo. It looks like it can get a 10, but I'm iffy on opening it. If you think it can get a 10, it's totally worth more graded in a 10 than it would be sealed. So yeah, that should be the only time you ever open a sealed promo if you think it has a good chance to get a 10. Next is from @LJMJ6865. Love the vids, man. Thank you. Do you have any kid investments put aside for your kid? I have a little girl and trying to put some things aside just for her to be able to use when the time comes. What are the best things to pick up and hold for like 15 years? So I do have a binder starter for her, and my wife is donating a lot of her cards to her because she's, you know, she likes Pokemon, but not nearly as much as I do. So she's just going to keep her absolute favorites and donate the rest to her. But yeah, I got a binder going for her. And then my plan is with a lot of my collectibles, I'm going to plan on selling like half of it to help retire and stuff like that and, you know, go crazy. And then the other half I'm keeping forever till I die. And then I'll pass those down to my, you know, my daughter and whatever other children I have. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be leaving them a ton of stuff. You know, my dad has a lot of stuff too, but it was more, you know, I would call it junk because my dad was a milkman. So he drove around in the cities a lot. So he was always finding stuff and getting stuff super cheap or for free. And he loved, you know, working on things. I mean, we had like 30 dirt bikes, 30 snowmobiles, you know, a ton of stuff like that. None of it really worked. You know, he'd work on some stuff and then he'd, you know, jump to another project and another project. So my plan is to leave my kids just the best, rarest collectibles in the world. So that way, you know, they don't have to go fix a bunch of things or worry about a bunch of junk. It's just all high-end collectibles that I worked very hard for and that I loved. Hopefully they'll keep some of it and not just sell it all instantly, but you never know. And for the best things to pick up and hold for like 15 years, I mean, if you're just talking value, sealed products for Pokemon, if you look at the data, is king. Next is from @Broden116. Great content as always. First video to start my Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday mornings. I really appreciate that. I had pulled 151 Charmander and Charmeleon and got a near mint SIR Charizard from eBay and sent them off to CGC. Got 9s for the first 2 and a 7.5 for the Zard. I'm more of a collector and could live with the 7.5, but would you crack the case and sell the Charizard and use the money to buy the CGC 10 SIR 151 Charizard? Keep up the great work. Well, if you did that, then you'd have 2 9s and a 10, which might bug you. That would bug me. So I would definitely probably crack that 7.5. Try to find out why it got a 7.5. Like, look for that damage, because if you're going to sell it, you should probably take a picture of that damage. But yeah, I'd probably try to sell that and then maybe just get a CGC 9, so that way you got them all on 9s. But if you can afford the 10, you know, maybe get the 10, and then down the road, you can maybe upgrade those 2 9s to a 10. But stuff like that bugs me, so I like to have everything the same. All right, next is from @InstinctXInstinct. Hey man, love the content. Question I have is, I'm currently a collector who doesn't invest in sealed products yet, and I'm wondering what your advice is for people who are ripping packs for future collecting and investing. Should I focus on grading good pulls, master sets, or trading for other good singles from past sets? So if I were you, I would slow down on ripping packs. I know ripping packs is fun, but it is so expensive and it is an extreme waste of money. You know, if you really, really want more Pokemon cards and better Pokemon cards, buy singles for sure. I always say, you know, rip some packs right when a set comes out, when the cards are the most expensive. So that way, if you pull something you don't like, you can sell it and get the most money and then buy cards you do like. So I would definitely try that. But let's see here. Should I focus on grading good pulls? If your card is grade worthy, yeah, send it in. But be picky. You know, if you see 3 or 4 things on the card that aren't perfect, might not get a 10. And then I always recommend too, go look at every single set ever made. It takes like 25 minutes on Poke Collector. You can literally look at every single English set and see every single card and really try to figure out what you want to collect, what you really, really like. Like take a few days and just think about, you know, your ultimate dream collection and then start there. So yeah, just focus on your collection, figure out what you want to get, and then definitely start buying some singles. And then definitely get your cards graded that you think have a good chance at a 10. All good things. Next is from @MeatShielder4515, a member. Yo, Beard, I have a 75% PSA 10 rate for grading. I usually submit 50 to 70 cards every 2 months. I have been selling them at my local card shows to vendors for 70-75%. I was wondering if you think it would be a better idea for me to get my business license and be a vendor so I can also have a good amount of write-offs for starting a small business. Is that how your eBay and YouTube setup is? Thanks, will always support you. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, you might as well. You know, you might as well try to make it legit. I mean, worst case scenario, just doesn't work out and you have all that experience and, you know, things you could say you've done, and you're going to meet so many more people too. And then too, you know, maybe you could start a channel. Like there are just so many opportunities. You might as well give it a try. Just be smart, you know, don't get yourself in a giant hole by doing super risky things. But yeah, you might as well give it a try. Next is from @MJSD1706. Because of price points, I ended up with a lot of Sword and Shield collection boxes and ETBs when I entered the hobby. Do you think I should just hold them sealed long term, willing to hold for years, or break them down and sell the loose packs at a discounted rate and move them into sealed booster box cases of new release sets? So I think you're the one who sent me all the pictures of your collection on Instagram. So what I would do probably is I would probably try to get rid of the worst boxes because you got a ton. If this is you, I'm pretty sure this is you. So yeah, I would probably just pick out the worst boxes and just, you know, trim the fat a little bit, make some money with that, you know, help your seller rating go up, and then invest definitely into some cheap new booster boxes or even the Pokemon Center ETB, stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely think that would be smart because, you know, a lot of people, they go crazy right when they start investing and they buy everything. Everybody does it. So yeah, just trim the fat a little bit. You know, I wouldn't maybe get rid of everything because you got a ton. Next is from @QuestTheCard. How do you get packs, ETBs, and boosters before release? Also, buying the ETB or booster boxes on Amazon, good or bad idea? Not sure if it matters, but you seem to be adamant about buying from the Pokemon Center, where I found most of the ETBs and boxes nearly half the price on Amazon. So when I'm talking about buying Pokemon Center ETBs, you can only get those on the Pokemon Center website. So you're probably confusing that. I would never suggest buying a regular ETB from the Pokemon Center website or booster box. For sure, they're so expensive. I only talk about the Pokemon Center ETBs because that's the only place you can get them. But I know a ton of people that buy off Amazon constantly. I've gotten off Amazon quite a few times and I didn't have no problems. Just, you know, check the actual seller who's selling it. And then how do you get packs before release? Go to your local card shop and go to pre-release. You can get the build and battle boxes, and then that next week, starting Monday, most of them will sell you booster boxes. So definitely check out your local card shop. Next is from @CulpBro603. Hey dude, love the videos. I received a booster box of Stellar Crown and I had plans to leave it sealed, but when the box came in, the booster box was crushed slightly on the top. The packs were fine and the plastic was still intact, but I decided to open it since it had damage on the box. My question is, how much would that damage have hurt the value for future resale? Also, I pulled a crimped Zorora 157 out of 142 in the box. How does the crimp affect price? Yeah, for these modern sets now, it's going to be tough to move any crushed items unless it's at a heavy discount. So you would probably have to drop that box to like maybe, you know, $80. Well, it's a newer set too, so a lot of people are opening it. So you might, you know, get a little lucky there. But yeah, you definitely have to take a little, you know, chunk off. But like I said, maybe $75, $80 and then probably sell decent. And crimped, Depends on the card, but I've noticed you could probably ask for double the price of it. Like if it's a $2-3 card, you might be able to get, $6-7 for it, maybe. But it's always worth a try. Just kind of throw it up there because I doubt there's another crimped one of that card on eBay or wherever you're selling it. Next is from @DNA4422. Hey, Pokebeard, new to your channel, and I've been binging your videos for almost a week now. Thank you. Love the content. My question is, could you give a breakdown on investing in Japanese versus English Pokemon cards? I've been hearing Japanese cards are made of higher quality. Just wanted to hear your take, especially from someone who appreciates Japanese Pokemon cards. Thanks for your time. Take care, Benjo. So I do mostly invest in English, but I do invest a little bit in Japanese. These prices you just can't beat for some of these awesome arts. But there's a lot more people that collect English cards, and the market's a lot more steady than Japanese. I mean, besides the last few years, Japanese has always been cheaper, and now it's getting that way again. So, yes, the quality is a little bit better, but again, it's a different language. So more people do collect English, plus you can go to any Walmart or store and get English cards. So Japanese cards are just a little bit harder to sell. But like I said, there's some awesome ones for really, really good deals that I think will do solid in the future. Japanese Pokemon cards aren't going away or anything. It's just they're definitely the cheaper versions, besides some of these waifu cards and some special promo cards that they get that we don't get. Solid question. Next is from @Adam Mason. I think we chatted on IG about this, but do you not grade too many cards? You buy a lot of raw and like to store in binders, but won't that possibly damage any of your possible 10s? How many binders do you have then? No, if you sleeve the card and are careful with your binder and not throwing it around, it's not going to damage it at all. And I do grade cards. I just don't grade very often. But when I do, I grade a ton of cards. So that's when I'll sit and go through and look at every single card and get a huge stack. I already got a decent little stack going of cards that I want to get graded. And then how many binders I have. So if you count the binders at my house and then the binders in my storage unit of just Pokemon, I probably have like 30-ish binders. And my binders don't just have a few cards in them either. I mean, a couple of them do that I just got that I'm merging with some other binders that I have in my storage unit. I just don't go there very often. But yeah, my binders are packed full. It's not like I have a binder for like a Champion's Path Master set or anything like that. Even for Sword and Shield, I have every alt art in the Sword and Shield binder with the celebrations in that set, with all the amazing rares and radiant rares and all that stuff. So, and the complete Crown Zenith Master set is in that binder also. So they're all pretty full. But yeah, I just hold off. I don't grade right away because I'm not going to sell right now anyway. So it's just a waste of time and money, to be honest. I'd rather be buying more cards and spend money on grading. But I usually wait for a huge boom or something like that. Or if a card goes crazy, then I'll maybe get it graded. But I like to have a huge stack to just get it all done with at once. Next is from @CamsPlay6688. Hey Beard, Christy Poo here. I need this question answered. Would you rather have BGS 10 Poncho Zards 207 and 208 or sealed boxes of the Mario and Luigi boxes long term? I have a trade on the table and own the slabs. Really would like your input. Now, technically, I think the sealed boxes might do a hair better, but it's so tough to say with these cards because these cards are very special and we don't really have anything like this. So it's super tough to say. It's up to you, but I would say if you look at all the data, sealed products definitely do a little bit better for sure. Next is from @America762. Love your videos. Do you have any advice for anyone going to their first trade card show? I started collecting with my son earlier this year, and I have been preparing some binders for us to trade bargain with. I just think I'm overthinking it. Also, how about a video series where you suggest top 25 Gen 1 Pokemon cards to buy, then Gen 2, so on and so on? It's not a bad idea. And then the last question is from a member @ChasingSelby. What kind of buyer are you at card shows? Are you a big negotiator? Are you cool and calm? How do you approach buying at shows? So I'll answer both of these, obviously. So definitely, bring some cards to trade. It's okay to overthink. I overthink literally every single thing I do all day long. It kind of drives me nuts, but at least I get a lot of stuff done. So yeah, definitely bring some good cards to trade. Don't expect everybody to give you good trade deals though. A lot of people I feel like think they're going to get more than they actually get, especially when they see these videos of people offering 80%. That is not everybody. A lot of people are a little cheaper, closer to, 65. I've even seen 55% at some card shows, which is just wild to me. But what I like to do at card shows, and I feel like this definitely helps out, just walk multiple times, find out all the vendors that actually have like the Pokemon cards, and then start actually spotting the cards you want. Don't really, ask to see them right away. Just spot them, be quick, just go through and pick the best spots. So that way you can kind of narrow it down. If it's a super popular card or something, you might want to grab it right away because it might sell super fast, but still just be smart. Look at all the vendors, definitely find the best deals. You have no idea how many people I've seen like that were buying at Card Party 2, buying 151 booster boxes for $70 when there was a vendor in the middle selling them for $55. It was blowing my mind. Other vendors were literally coming to buy them at $55 to go sell them at $70. It was so wild. So definitely check everything. A lot of people sell at different prices. So do that first, scout everything, then go in. Then you can always ask the vendors what percentage they're buying and trading at, and then you can find the best person for that. So then, you know where to go to trade your cards or sell your cards. And then once you find the cards you really want and you find like the 3 vendors that have them, go check the conditions on all the cards. You could ask them what their best price is on that card. Just say, I'll be right back. I'm going to go check out another card and, go check them all out and find the best deal. But I'm super, super calm at card shows. Unless it's something I absolutely need and it's very, very rare, then I might get a hair, aggressive and be pulling out my phone and showing, the last sold for everything. That's another thing too. Know the last sold prices for the card that you want and are hunting for. That helps a ton, so that way you're not overpaying. But there's been a few times where I've gotten into like some heated arguments over a deal, and we ended up making the deal usually, but it took a while to get there. But I love card shows. It's one of the best places to meet people, and it's honestly a blast. And then too, with the trading, if you're bringing a ton of cards, just know if they're like really, really cheap cards, a lot of people won't even want to trade for those. So you can still bring them, but just know a lot of people, especially vendors, might not want them because it might just be a waste of time for them. But yeah, definitely check out your local card shows. Everybody, go to your local card shops. It's definitely the best place to meet people. And, you can definitely find good deals. The more people you meet, the more deals you can get. But all right, that was today's Pokemon What If Wednesday. If you guys do have any questions, please drop them down below for a chance to be featured in next week's video. And if you guys could do me a massive favor and hop over to my Instagram, I would really, really appreciate that. When like 151 comes in stock, which happens all the time, I post that ASAP. You can also support more and become a member. It's only 99 cents a month. I also drop that stuff there. And then too, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. And if you want to watch my last Pokemon Market Monday, click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.